Hello everyone, welcome to card number 9 in my 12 cards of Christmas series. And this is the card we are going to make today. This one is called Stencil with Distress Oxides. How's that for description? Look at that, it's so sparkly. I just love it. Okay, here we go. I have a piece of watercolor paper. And this stencil is from, I think Stencil Pack 2. I'm going to lay it on here to keep it from slipping around. I have some low tack tape and I've got sticky side up, and I'm going to stick it to the back of the cardstock so that it hangs out the side and it will stick to the bottom of the stencil. Same thing on the other side, just for some added security. Stick it to the bottom of the cardstock, and now you can see it's stuck in place, and it will make it a lot easier for me to do my ink blending. Putting down a piece of scrap paper just to make it easier. I have peeled paint, Distress ink. This is the Distress Oxide that we carry, and then this is the Candied Apple Distress Oxide. And I have two different blenders with a little foamy guy on the end. And these foams, they detach, so you don't have to have a million of the little handles, though the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. But you can swap out the little foam end. And I'm just going to start squishing on some ink, keeping it a little lighter toward the middle, maybe a little darker. It doesn't all have to be perfectly the same. That was the peel paint, and then this is Candied Apple. And I am overlapping a little bit, not too much. I don't want to end up with brown or anything like that, but a little bit of that overlapping I think gives it a unique color and a unique appearance. So I am going to just ink a little bit over the top of the red, just blending them together. And I think that looks real good. Let's close these up so I'm not sticking my elbow in them. Next, I'm going to take my Stickles. They're called icicle Stickles. We carry these. And I am going to just put a little gob on there, just like that. Put the lid back on. And I have a piece of scrap cardstock, and I'm going to use it as a scraper. I don't have the nice palette stuff that we sell. I forget to throw it on my order. One of these days I will remember. But this is okay for now. And that it does pick up a little bit of the ink, but that's okay. And that can just get tossed. And now I'm going to peel off the stencil. And this you can take and wash. I will set it aside so that I can get at that and wash it up. And this is what the paper looks like. Isn't that fun? Look at those sparkles. Oh, I love the sparkles. Now this is wet. You have to set it aside to dry. So I have one that I did earlier so that we could continue on with the card. The rest of the pieces for the card, I have some of our gold shimmer paper. And what I did is I took one of the snowflake thin cuts from my stash and I cut one out of the middle. You can see right in the middle. And then I have a piece of black cardstock. This is, I do believe this is 5.5 by 4.25. The glitter paper is 5.25 by 4. And then this piece of watercolor paper that I did my ink blending on is, I think, 5 by 3.75. And we're just gonna put this all together. We're gonna stack it up. And I like to die cut out of the middle of the glitter paper because no one is ever going to notice. No one will ever see it. And it makes good use of that inner part. I have the watercolor paper with my Distress inking on it, and we'll cover that up, just centering it. And I am going to take a big block and lay it on here so that it can flatten out a little bit. And I do have that same gold snowflake that I cut out of the middle, and then I took a strip of black cardstock. I think this is 3 inches long and it's a 1/2 inch tall, and I heat embossed Peace on Earth, and it's from this magical stamp set yet again, Say It in Style, and on there was Peace on Earth, and I thought that was a really sweet sentiment. I think I will flag the end, so you just cut up straight in the middle, and then you go from the corner to where you ended your cut. Pull that out so you can see there, see that. And then I like to flip it over and go from the corner into the middle there like that. I seem to get a more even cut. So now we flagged the end of that. Let's see if this is hanging down. It seems pretty good. And what I did was I just lined it up so that the end of my banner piece here will be covered up by one of the lines of the snowflake. And I'm gonna run glue just along the main, I don't know if you call them snowflake stems. I'm not sure what the proper snowflake terminology is. But I'm putting it at an angle, but laying it over the top of the edge of this little black sentiment strip. Gluing that down, and then I will take card base. This is just a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 cardstock from my stash. I'm folding it over in half, and I will use my bone folder to encourage my fold, and take my glue, and I'm going to glue this panel to the front of the card base, and I think we'll be done. This is one of my favorites. I've liked each of the cards I've done so far, but when I did this one, it spoke to my heart. So I do think that I will be making this design as my Christmas card this year. I will send out all of them that I made, but oh, I love this one. Thank you so much for stopping by and for joining me in card number 9 in my 12 Cards of Christmas series. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.